scored for a while. I was thinking it actually might be lower, you know, because we have scored 5 and he hasn't scored 1, as it would be naturally, you know. So it's a bit weird. It was weird. As soon as Odegaard gets the ball, he looks for Jesus. They're looking for little passes and they will flow in, man. When he gets 1, he'll score a lot more, man, really and truly. On that as well, we should actually look at, I think The Athletic have an article, people, on Gabby Jesus and things like that, and his goals and all of those sort of things. So I think we should have a look at that as well. Just before we actually start reading that, again, smash the like button. One love to you lot tuned in. What are you lot saying in the comments, people? Bit random, but the new Avatar movie looks sick. Amen. What game am I watching tonight? Juventus PSG. It's live from 7:40. We really need to strengthen, especially if we go on to beat Chelsea and Wolves. How do you think Une will get on at Villa? I hope he does all right, man. I hope he stables the ship and I hope he takes them on to the next level. I'm sorry, but Falgondo is not good enough. How many people have watched Falgondo Torres? I've only seen a few YouTube videos and it shows me nothing special. Lau Felix, in my opinion, Atletico is going to want those 100 bags at least, which they paid for him. Not about that. Should we say Felix? If you could buy João Felix, why not? What? Where's the bread? Falcondo and Terrio would be good depth. I hear that. Shout out Fury as well. Wenger hit the nail on the head when he said players running down contracts will be a regular thing. So many players doing that right now. Amen. Zaha will be a good addition, but I don't see Arsenal going in for him because of the wages. Bring up Graham. Martin Terrier looks a good option, and I would be open to bringing him in. 13 games in Liga with 8 goals and 3 assists. In Europa, it's 5 matches with 3 goals and 1 assist. And he's quite decent technically. Big up DJ in the nation. Hypothetical question. If Real came for Saka and Arteta, but you can keep one, who are you keeping? Bukayo Saka. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Amen. Shout out to you. Shout out to YouTube members as well. Big up DG. Zaha either comes Arsenal or joins Newcastle for the bag. With my Palace settings, leave Eze and Elise alone. Zaha should go Newcastle, not even because of new money. Think he'll be a viable option there. Zaha isn't signing a new contract with Palace, could join Arsenal for free. I hear that. People, hit the like button. The goal is 100 likes. Make sure to join us for Juventus PSG live stream today as the Champions League group stages come to an end. Clement, appreciative of that, fella. Appreciative of that. So, yeah, man. Anyone saw Alexis yesterday? He's not as cutthroat as he was before, but he could transform Arsenal from Jad. Leave Alexis Sanchez alone. He don't need to return to Arsenal. Come on now. It's over, bro. Don't get gassed off a 90-minute thing. It's over, bro. It's over. He rubbed out at Man United. He rubbed out at Inter. You know, he was rubbing out on reflection at Arsenal. It's over, bro. You know, you're going to have to give him a decent wages, whether you take him on loan or whatever. Yeah, you could say we haven't really got much options, so why not? But it's never good to go back. It might seem when you break up with a man or woman in some of you lot's cases, you might focus on all the good stuff and whatnot. But it's never nice to go back into a relationship. It's done, in it. Enjoy our time that we had. Myth. You know, and all that sulking BS Alexis used to do, for as much as I love him as a footballer, it's not going to help no one, really. It's a myth. Zaha, I don't know, would be good for the short term with a 2-year deal, but I see him staying at Palace. He's got a decision to make. On this, though, Jesus is having a dry patch. Fortunately for Arsenal, there's more to his game. I mean, we know there's a lot to Jesus' game. We know we're signing the perfect striker for the system, you know, but the only thing with Jesus is goals. And he just needs to get back on that. Simple as that. Let's not do what we did with Lacazette and overcompensate. You know, whether we create enough chances for Jesus, whether he's in the box enough is another thing. But we know this. There's been a couple of games. It's only been in the last few weeks. People be like, oh, Jesus ain't scored. You know, what's going on? There's been games he's played bloody brilliant and not scored. And that's great. He needs to get 15, 20 league goals minimum. It felt significant. And obviously, when you win 5-0 and your star man striker don't score, it is what it is. There's going to be pressure. And you can see Jesus is thinking about it. At all levels, strikers are a bit weird. You know, they score goals, they feel on top of the world. They're not scoring, they doubt themselves. It felt significant after a run of 6 games without a goal. This was an opportunity to break his duck. His teammates conspired to put a chance on a plate for him, but ultimately a goal eluded him. Jesus going 7 matches without scoring. Hopefully on Sunday against Chelsea, he patterns that up. However, cause for panic or indeed altogether surprising, the Brazil international's finishing has fluctuated throughout his career. Again, we know this. We know this already. I'm trying to scroll through all the jargon. I think it's 4 games I start, I don't score. That's happening before, and I'm pretty sure in the future it's going to happen again, said Jesus before the Palace game, before the Forest game. It's now 5 starts for Jesus in which he has failed to convert. Did get some assists. He's correct that he has endured similar runs before. Just last season, he went 15 Premier League appearances from late September until early April without scoring. That's scary because we can't really do that. Shout out to you. Apparently, Saka is in full training with the Arsenal squad at London Coley. That's bloody fantastic, ain't it? Big up Saka, solid as a rock. While he may have spent much of last season playing on the wing, he did not exhibit a knack for regular goal scoring. Take away the 4 he got in one game against Watford in April, and Jesus had a Premier League record of just 4 goals from 27 appearances, which again isn't there. And again, he knows about goals. He has said he wants to get golden boot and all of those things before, like every striker. That's football. I don't want it to be like this. Of course, I want to improve. I want to work like always in my life. The next game, I'll try again, and I'm 100% sure I will score. Frustration is normal. Everyone feels bad when you don't have a good day at work, not only football. When something that you want a lot doesn't happen, you feel frustration within yourself because I think it was too much. Now I realize that what I think I can improve is in the past. I learned from it. I improve. Now I recover quickly on this. According to statistics, Jesus has an expected goals of 6.8 for this season with an actual yield of 5 goals. This means that based on the chances he's had, you'd expect him to have around 2 more goals to his name. So not to be do the data thing, because I think you have had chances to score a lot more and you've got the capacity, but he's near there and around. Apparently Zinchenko is also in training, which again, we're getting our bodies back here. And then he's in full training as well. Clearly not ready to play any games, but nice to see. So right now, Jesus is underperforming his expected goals somewhat. This is not in itself particularly unusual. Last season, he had an expected goals of 10.8, but a return of just 8 goals. This has been a trend across his career. In 1920, he had an impressive return of 14 league goals, but his expected goals was 18.2. There have been other notable examples. The year before 18-19, he recorded 7 goals with an expected goals of 11.2. Expected goals is a metric best assessed over the widest sample possible. Jesus' 7 seasons in the Premier League have seen him amass 171 appearances, including 111 starts. In that period, he has 63 goals with an expected goal return of 77.5. Jesus is not a bad finisher, but he is an exceptional one. And I don't think he's a bad finisher, but if I play devil's advocate, you can't be a good finisher if you don't score many goals. The good news for Arsenal is that Jesus has an expected goals of 0.59 so far this season. That's his best in the division since 0.81 in 1920. The chances continue to come and the conversion will follow, even if at a slightly lower rate than Arsenal fans might desire. The only real concern will be if the opportunity dries up, which is crazy. But yeah, according to and this is his other strengths, people. Since the start of last season, Jesus has 13 Premier League assists. According to Opta, only Kevin De Bruyne with 17 and Mohamed Salah with 16 have created more goals for teammates in that time. Add his pressing and tactical intelligence, and it begins to build a picture of an excellent all-round forward. I mean, but we know this. Like, the only issue with Jesus is if my man's going to score. That's it. Like, we know he's a great player that does all this other stuff. So, it's overcompensating. Let's just be real. He just needs to score a bit more, but he's doing all right. Crucially, Arsenal are generally finishing their chances at a rate above expectations. So sometimes there's a normality. That's a bit of a concern. Their goals minus, the difference between a team's number of actual goals scored and their XG number is plus 72. Only City's with plus 12 is higher. Martinelli has 5 goals with 5 league goals with a 2.8 expected goals. Xhaka has recorded 3 from just 1.4 expected goals. So that tells you there might be a normality in performance. Young players go through a patch. Saka went through a patch last season. Smith Rowe as well, where they weren't scoring week in, week out. Martinelli will do that. So if the goals dry, Xhaka isn't going to score forever. This is where it is. And has AD and Nketiah got the capacity to score goals? I don't know. And Arteta said in March this year, to be with the top teams this season, you need to score 90 to 100 goals at least. And I remember, fans used to get onto me whenever I quoted that. Somehow you need those goals in the team. And he also said, kind of doubled down on those comments recently and spoke about, we need our strikers to be firing, really. Somehow you need those goals in the team. Don't ask me how, but you need them. They have to come. That contribution, how it's done, how possible it is to happen. You have to find the right pieces to do it, but it's a non-negotiable, which is true. And back then we was managing just 1.59 goals per game to get 90 in a season. You have to average 2.36, which is there. In the top flight games this season, Arsenal scored 30 goals. That's an average of 2.5. Keep up for the entire 38 campaign. and they would finish with 95. It may not ultimately prove sustainable, but as things stand, Arsenal are on pace for 90 plus, for a 90 plus league goals season. And obviously Odegaard, Martinelli and Saka have chipped in. Hopefully they continue to keep it going, really. So I just felt that was an interesting article, really. So that's that, really. But yeah, it's nice to know that Jesus is doing his thing and he can do better. It's nice to know that obviously Zinchenko and Saka are back fit, allegedly. Let's go on, Charles. What's Twitter? Big up, let's activate as well. Shout the Twitch ones. Appreciative to have you lot in the building. Don't forget we're playing FM at 4:30 as well, folks. What has been said here? So yeah, Charles Watson said Zinchenko is there in training. Saka has made his way out as well. So yeah, hopefully they do all right in that regards. Oh, drought.